Hello. It has been what? Since October last year? Yeah. So kind of like, I don't know, 8 months.
8 months, yeah.
Yeah. 8
Exactly,
months since we did a review of the tent and our first run of this Zempire EVO TL tent. And now it's the real run, shall we say. We talked a lot about like how a week should be a perfect time to have a gauge on how this tent feels, and we are about to have spent a week in this tent. Yes, tomorrow we pack. So today is the perfect day to do a final review of the tent. I mean, I'm not about to say that we won't do a review like after 15th use, but like now we have pretty good idea of what's going on. If you hear background noises, you are hearing fuck-tarded bikers that are all over this place. It seems that we have chosen a vacation just at the place and at the time when biker festival is going on, and yeah, like the small town is crawling with bikers and they're just revving it up everywhere they go. So you can't have a peace of mind, day or night, it doesn't matter.
They make apparently 200-meter runs from one point to the other with their bikes, or they just drive in circles. It sounds like it's just
So basically we are at the campsite. It's called Arena Kejala. It's in Medellin, and yes, Medellin is the ground zero for this year's Harley Davidson festival or something like. Wow. So what has changed? What have you learned? Is there something new? So what's new?
New is the
awning?
The awning. New is the awning, yes. We got the awning. I got it for him for Christmas.
Well, you got it for us.
Yeah, I got it for us for Christmas. Yeah, and it's great, actually. It's really, really nice. We only have the mesh. We did away with the clear plastic cover because we just don't need that. But
yeah,
it's really...
it seems I have a grievance with Zempire, like with stuff they really should have made an option for. Like I don't see any practical use for that plastic overall stuff over like that goes over the mesh of the vestibule, like or the awning, however you want to put it. So like if we put the plastic part, we would cook right now. We would cook inside like that'd be fucking cooking.
We were lucky enough to find a place in the shade underneath trees. It's well, not exactly nice inside, but it's you can be inside without cooking and without being completely just drenched all the time. But in the sun it would probably be an oven. And if we had the plastic cover here, which isn't even dark, right? It's just the see-through plastic.
Yeah.
So the sun would still come in. It would be impossible to do anything here. Actually.
And if you remember from last review, I was talking about exactly that. Like if you pitch this tent under just the sunlight, you will die. Like the only moment you would find any kind of peace would be, I don't know, like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. You would finally find some peace, and then the dawn comes and the sun comes. So like you'd be toasting. And for 3 days in a row now, we have had 31 degrees Celsius here.
In the morning already, and
no, not in the morning, like but
it was really hot in the morning.
But like close to the noon and up until like 5 or 6 p.m. It's like either 30 or 31. So Okay, that's not the record high, but we are at the coast, and the air here is very, very dry. So you are going to, and for the first 2 days of these kinds of temperatures, we had some kind of a breeze, so it was very nice. But today, oh my God, the pressure is on. Like, the pressure is really on. But the positioning of the tent in the shade makes all the difference in the world. So,
And we made a discovery that you can actually open up the back mesh thing.
Yeah.
That we thought was just an opening towards the ground to let air in, but you can actually totally open it up, and it's just mesh, and it really helps with the airflow and everything.
yeah, luckily we don't have many neighbors, so we weren't having any uninvited, well, I don't know, peeping toms or what have you. So that was good. Let's talk about some more stuff. So what else did we find out? We find out that tenting in warm weather in a lush environment, so shall we say, although this is a meadow with just a few trees, but it's still lush, you have a very peculiar problem. That peculiar problem is called earwigs. And yeah, let me tell you, like for the past week, I think I've killed like well over 200 earwigs within this tent. Is it a kind of a deal breaker? I mean, tent isn't guilty of anything here at all. Like, this is just the environment, and the earwigs come out of, I don't know, thin air.
Yeah.
Apparently, like, they just come out of thin air. Places crawling with ant nests. Lucky for us, these ants are not really aggressive. I can even see them now, like at the lower part of the awning. Like, there is kind of like at least 40 or 50 of them, whatever. And there is lots of spiders. We even saw kind of like at least a dozen baby praying mantises. Like, like when I say baby praying mantises, they were like this big, like. And yeah, so it's a lush environment. So you have to be on your toes, and if you want to sleep in any kind of relaxed manner, you have to be diligent, and you have to deal with those earwigs.
This one. Praying mantis.
Small
Sitting up
one?
there. Small one,
Oh, I see it. Oh, I see it. So yeah, we also took a paddle, like with the kayak, with inflatable kayak from the campsite to one of the islands here in Madeline Bay, and yeah, that was also fun.
Yeah, it was
That was
a lot
really
of
fun.
It was really, really nice to
It-
paddle on the ocean. It was different, very different.
Yeah, it appears it's a fucking bunny island.
Yeah, it's a bunny island. That's yes. Somebody must have set free like 2 or 4 or at least 1 male and 1 female bunny, pet bunny. It was definitely pet bunnies because there's a black and white one and all of that, and black ones. And that's the whole island is full of bunnies now.
Yeah, and I don't think that's their natural habitat.
No, definitely.
But the island
They
is
didn't swim over
yeah,
there.
but the island is so deserted. I mean, there is a bar there, like and a small beach, but other than some visiting humans, like there's nothing there except birds, and these bunnies have no natural enemy there, unless there would be some gigantic eagles like praying about. Like, but I didn't see anything bigger than a seagull. Paddle was good, but sea paddling is something else. Like, you have to fight the current, you have to fight the waves, the other people like moving on in boats and in speed boats, like and whatnot. So yeah, I think I'll stick to freshwater kayaking because it's more predictable. Let's just say it like that. It's more predictable, and I've paddled on on freshwater with wind at my face. It was hard and everything, but it was still predictable, more predictable than the sea. So yeah, but it was a really, really, really good paddling. So we were paddling, then we went to Lim Bay, Bay. It's the only Croatian fjord. It's actually not a fjord, but we are selling it as that. And also we went to Pula, like to one other fort which is closed, and like we went to this Lost Beach bar, and we went to Pula's new marina.
Mm-hmm. Also very nice.
Yeah, I can't believe they actually did that. I saw plans for it, but like, yeah, they actually did that. Okay.
Rovini.
To
Rovini.
Oh, we've been to Rovin.
Rovin.
Yeah.
Rovin, sorry.
Yeah, Rovigno for you Italians. But this tent proved out to be like seriously a home away from home. Like there are like 90% of people here that come camping. They come in campers, like one kind or the other.
Yeah.
And we saw only maybe 3 or 4 tents, like full tents, like nothing else, car and a tent, you know.
Well,
like
the bikers have the small tents.
Yeah. And one of the tents we saw was a Campa, which is I think Dometic's budget line. Another thing. So while dealing with earwigs, I discovered a fantastic method of dispatching of those bastards. So I have a flashlight, which in its highest mode is so warm that it actually burns. So I decided I'd burn the earwigs, which led to the patches you can see, the 3 patches up here. And yeah, you can guess, like my perfect smart ass self thought like I could like press them against the tent canvas and burn their ass off. Yeah, sure, I burned them and killed them, but I also damaged the tent. On these 2, on the green canvas, I damaged the tent a little, but there I made a bona fide hole. Luckily, I have some professional sealant tape for tents, so I patched it up. So yeah, there you go. I christened the tent, like, with my stupidity. That that about covers it up. And of course there was no rain, so I couldn't test the leaks. And those, if you remember from the last time, those 2 holes, small tiny holes that I saw, like from our second pitch of the tent. The first one was like me pitching it alone in a preview, but those came, I think, with like prior to my buying the tent. I think that was like the damage done from prior, but the holes were so tiny that they didn't actually let water through, but I still patched them up. So yeah. Also, the top of the tent in one segment has been shot upon by many a bird, so I'll have to deal with that.
The shadow is great under the trees, but the birds are still.
Yeah. So yeah, the tent got shot upon, so you have to deal with that too. So the awning is actually absolutely great. We use only the mesh because the mesh opens up the view. It actually blocks some view from the outside, you know.
Especially the double mesh.
Yeah, if you use double mesh like that one and this one, you don't even have to put on a shade, because unless there is a light source from inside, like nobody can see.
On a white surface, basically.
So that's also very, very, very good.
It's the it's also the airflow that just comes through the mesh. It's much nicer. Just the mesh.
Yeah. Basically, so how would you say a week in this tent feels? Does it feel like cumbersome? Does it feel like, oh my god, I'm done with this, like I want to get to a kind of like like 4 walls and whatnot, and like, or is it kind of like, or is it just kind of like getting into the zone where it's just kind of like, okay, I got used to this now, like I could do this for like, I don't know,
another week.
Yeah.
For another week. Yeah.
So basically, our initial assessment, the 2 weeks under this roof would be kind of like the outer envelope.
I mean, it might prove us wrong if we try at some point. Maybe we find it's still great, but for now, I would have the feeling, yes, maybe another week would be fine. After that, it might become a little bit tedious, honestly.
So yes, some of you, like those few dozens of you that watch the videos anyway, might ask like, so why don't you do it 2 weeks? Well, I work 2 jobs, like, and my schedule does not let me to kind of like plan for 2-week tenting with this tent, but 1 week is no problem. But I would really love to. Also, maybe not in a developed campsite like this. Maybe.
Or a smaller one.
Yeah, or at least a smaller one. Somewhere where I would even trade some of the amenities, like the shower and like the whatnot, you know.
Yeah, loo would be steps.
Yeah, the loo would have to be like, yeah, but I could trade in the shower and the dishwashing and like whatever, you know. But yeah, the loo would be nice. But 2 weeks here, you can do it, no problem. Like, because the amenities you have guarantee like you're going to be as good as, you know.
We're in the biggest camping ground in the area.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
This two restaurants, a cafe,
yeah,
everything, pool, whatnot.
I would bet all of my marbles that Arena Kježela is one of the biggest camping sites in Istra, if not the biggest, and probably within top 5 biggest in Croatia. I have not checked, so don't like take my word for granted, but it is fucking huge. It's a fucking city. Okay, it's a fucking city. If it would to be full, I think there would be kind of like 7,000 to 8,000 people here, you know, easily, you know. So it is huge. Does it feel like it's overpopulated right now in June, like mid-June? It doesn't. It has people, but it doesn't feel like, oh my god, like we're just crawling with people. Oh, for fuck's sake, you know, like we can't do anything or whatnot. No.
We managed for the whole week not to have direct neighbors, at least. Since 2 days ago, there's one like a little bit diagonally behind us, but nobody is directly and on the plots next to us. So it's still relatively private and open and everything.
So what would be your negatives about the experience in this tent, if you have any?
Every tent, it's the distance to the loo, I guess. Especially in the night, it's a bit cumbersome after a while.
Yeah, but I would call that not a fault of the tent. Like,
no,
it's
not
just,
at all. I mean,
it's just the trade-off you have to make when you go either camper camping or tent camping. I guess the people in campers also prefer that loo before their own chemical loo, because
they don't have to clean that loo. They have to clean their own chemical loo. Yeah.
And they use chemical loo for traveling because like it's easier to just stop and like take a dump than you know, just to pay €1 or €2 like at some gas station for a loo or something, you know. So like
there isn't any really deal-breaking kind of negative I could think of after a week now that I would say makes it not nice to be in a tent, in this big tent, because you can just move around, you can stand up, you can.
Yeah, you saw we did a sort of carpeting inside now. We need to still fine-tune it. I need to get it sewn, like the 2 carpet pieces sewn in the middle, like, and then we need to have a clamp system that will go around the pylons and grab onto the carpet and stretch it out. It is stretchy, and stretch it out over the floor surface, and that way it won't wrinkle, it won't do anything. And then you can vacuum clean it, like you can just buy a hand vacuum cleaner and just vacuum it whenever you see fit. We don't have a vacuum cleaner for that yet, but that's in the works.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
We still have to get the fridge. We still haven't got the fridge, but we managed. We just bought things for 2 days, put them in a shadowy place, in a little bit insulated place, and we managed.
Yeah, you can do without fridge. You just have to go shopping every day, not for a lot, but for a small, like, basically for breakfast and every other day for lunch. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Depending on what kind of a kitchen you have. Do you have a robust setting, or like really like elaborate setting, or do you have kind of like the bare necessities setting? You can cook, you can do whatnot, like and
We didn't really go out a lot to eat this time around.
yeah,
Even less than normally. We were at the
fjord.
fjord,
Yeah,
and that was it for big meal, wasn't it? That we went out for.
yeah.
We went out for coffees, but
Yeah, but I really did not feel like I want to go like eat and like leave money at restaurants like at a rate that is super alarming.
Yeah, but what I meant is you can, even without a fridge, you can really eat here and not go out all the time and eat your meals in the tent, making them yourselves. We haven't gotten sick.
So. I can only reiterate what I said last time, like about the tent and the inner tent that you don't see it inside. Like, my God, I am now 100% behind what I said, even though I didn't have a doubt even then. I said it in preview, I said it in first review, I'm saying it now. Like, you do not need inner tent.
We don't need the inner tent.
And I mean, it would be nice if Zempire really took notice of just everyone that uses their tent, like and actually posts something about it, but offer people like choices, like full kit. Sure, like people are going to buy full kit just because of the completeness of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would buy like this tent without inner tent, but with this mesh awning.
Mm-hmm.
That would be for me like ideal.
And without the clear plastic.
Of course, the clear like Zempire has the most ugliest systems for raising up the plastic part of the awning. Like has 2 poles, and then you raise the middle part, and the rest of it just flaps around, or you can kind of like stretch it out with a rope. Like, I mean, I really don't like it. It looks like a shabby wing or something, like, fuck no, I'm even thinking of throwing that away. If it's raining and like you would want to have more room, like awning or whatnot. I could see, like, okay, you have now opted, like, okay, I'm gonna go full retard. I know there's going to be a storm, and I'm going to take the plastic part and I'm going to use it and I'm going to put it, and I'm like, sure, then I can understand. Like, but anything else makes absolutely no sense. So yeah, it would be absolutely fantastic if Zempire would like kind of like reconsider that. People, like, of course, I'm just gonna wing it here. Like 80% of people are just going to buy the full kit, always. But there are a few people that kind of like need to conserve space. And trust me, removing the inner tent makes so much room in the original bag of the tent that 1/3 of that bag is basically empty. I don't put pump inside, I don't put poles inside, like those are all in the box, like on top of the car. And
also removing the poles from the awning.
Yeah, I removed the poles from the awning. I right now the awning almost makes no sense, but to just throw it in with the tent, this mesh part, because like I don't need the rest. I'll use poles for something else. I have like tarp, 4x4 tarp, 4x4 meters tarp. I'd rather use the poles to prop up that tarp. If there is just a meadow and no trees and nothing, or if there are kind of like 2 trees, but I want like a square, set up like a roof, like slanted or something. I could use the poles or whatnot. But other than that, like, I don't see the use of the poles with this tent. You have seen it from outside. It looks uniform. Now it looks more like a Van Gogh tent, like or a Campa tent or whatever. Now it looks like complete. Van Gogh tents have similar setup like this with the awning that drops down, like, and makes them like more streamlined, more like wind resistant, like wind just slides over the tent. And when it's windy, you can feel the gusts of wind, but like I absolutely am like in no way, shape or form fearing like the gust of wind, or like will the wind fuck up my tent or whatnot. It's pegged down with like 40 pegs. It's not going anywhere. Like, it would have to be a hurricane type wind to kind of like just rip the cord, and basically demolish the tubes and like the fabric and everything. So I don't think like the wind is the problem here. I would even say that the air inflated tent like this is far more superior and far more durable than a pole tent. Not to mention that it's far quicker to fold it and unfold it. So
to come back to the inner tent, again, I'm harping on this, but it's so fucking warm today. If with the inner tent you wouldn't have the draft,
yeah,
even with the back thingy open, so it just would be in the way, and even make it even more warm inside.
The thing with the draft and the mesh is so fine that it serves basically as a windbreaker. Mm-hmm. You will not feel the full force of the wind. You will just feel a big draft. But if you have a mesh and then you have an inner tent lining, you will not feel even a draft. Mm-hmm. So kind of like be smart, I do get it. Some people just swear they can't sleep unless it's dark, I get it. Like, but I say, like, use the eye patch, covers. The tent, I would say we like it. I would say we like it a lot. I would say this was not a bad investment by any stretch of imagination. I would say for someone that was starting to get into big tenting like last year during the summer, and under conditions that were anything but relaxing, I'd say this was a considerable leap of faith that turned out to be every bit as good as I would have hoped for, and I didn't hope for much other than to just kind of like not to be disappointed.
It is a home away from home, actually, because you can live in it and not just sleep and have to do everything else outside. You can actually live in the tent and do your thing.
As you saw, like, we don't have a lavish setup, like like all the cushions, all whatnots and whatever.
Still no disco ball.
Yeah, but look, my car is as it is. Like, I don't have that much room in my car. I would have to get a trailer behind it and like.
But it turned out that you have more room in your car than you thought you would have in the beginning.
Glass. There is a. Okay.
And? Okay.
Of course, there is a.
The reason why we haven't got a fridge yet, for example, is because he wasn't sure if everything, including the kayak, would fit in the car, including a fridge, because that's quite bulky.
Yeah.
But it turned out there's more space left.
Yeah, the fridge I would like to buy is bulky. It actually takes as much space as the kayak does right now in the car. Like, so is it kind of like conceivable? Yes. Would it make things a lot better? Like, not a lot better. It would just made few things easier. But like, as soon as you get something that gives you a little bit more ease, you get overwhelmed too much, and then you start buying shit that you can't put in and like whatnot. So there's always a trade-off, but would it help? Of course it would. Like, of course it would. Would I love to have a really cold glass of water sometimes? Of course I would, you know. But it's at this point, or at any point, it isn't like a deciding factor, you know, to go camping or not to go camping. You know. Water is water. It's wet. We're not drinking warm piss water here.
It's
like
hydrating.
Yeah. Well, this video, unlike last year's, which was being made with DJI Osmo Pocket 3, is being made with Insta360 X5, and it already overheated on us 2 times, which is a surprise because I was using it prior to this on my scooter and
the kayak.
Yeah, kayak, and it didn't overheat, and it did like over 56 minutes of in one take, like. So yeah, and I gotta say, like, X5 is a absolutely and complete beastly upgrade from X2, which was my prior Insta360 camera. So yeah, kudos to Insta360 for making a camera that really shines right now.
Cool.
Although for static recording like this, it will overheat. So
for comparison of the quality, the squirrel video on the channel is with the Insta360 X2.
yeah.
So yeah.
That was also good, but like this has X2 beaten in all aspects, like across the board. Like there is not even a contest. So yeah, and that's about it. Like yeah, this is like the final review. Basically, what you could have taken from this is like we have confirmed and reaffirmed what we have said before. And we now only can underscore those things, like, and say like, yes, we were right. Okay, of course, I did some pretty stupid things, you know, like with damaging the tent and whatnot. But luckily, I didn't damage it like beyond any reasonable repair or whatnot. But like, yeah, so the tent is amazing, like, but we only basically reaffirmed and underscored everything we said before. So if you are looking to go into a big tent camping, you just need to know kind of like what you're willing to trade in terms of space in the car or the vehicle you have, like how much work do you want to really do when you go camping, because you have to do everything by yourself. Nothing's going to be done for you. So like if you buy a huge tent, it's going to be a lot of work, you know, like even this tent has to be pitched up somehow. It's not hard, but like nobody's going to do that for you. So you have to think it through. If you buy a pole tent this big, good luck, like good luck. If you buy an air tent, well, you're going to save yourself a whole lot of trouble. So an air tent it is for us, and yeah, Zempire did a fine job. Like I said, like the only grievance I have with Zempire is like make kit customizable, you know, especially the budget ones like the EVO line, you know, which is their budget line, you know, like this is kind of like their I think second tier, like this is not their top tier like tent line. But yeah, make kits customizable, and like yeah, you might even sell I don't know, a few more tents than you usually do. I mean, they are not cheap. Like the normal price on this one is like 1,800 euros. So yeah, like, and the awning itself is like over 200 euros normally. When you want to buy, like I think 250 or something, like. Yeah. So.
And about the how big the tent is, again, we are just the two of us, and it's very spacious for us. It's easily for 5 people, 6 people, children, whatever, 5 families. It's easily big enough for more people than 2.
Four people can sleep inside, like no problem. Then inner tent might have some meaning, you know, like if you do not want, yeah, if you want to just have a visual screen, like she said, yeah, I think this tent is like, you know, a dream come true that you didn't even had. Like, you just had an idea. Oh, wouldn't it be nice to kind of like go out big tenting, camping? You know? Yes, it would. Actually, it turns out, yes, it would. Like,
Yeah.
But the key to that component is like having a will, having a very strong will. Like, many people have great ideas, but poor will to execute them. So, yeah, sometimes you swallow more. You actually bite more than you can swallow and chew. Like, so. Luckily, this wasn't the case. So, yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with this.
We're still learning. We're learning by doing, basically, the little things, and it gets better and better. Really.
Like I said, you don't get enough of the experiences on YouTube from people the news stands. They only talk about technical stuff. Like, God fucking damn it! Like, I can find technical stuff on the page. Nobody's gonna lie about technical stuff, you know. Imagine a manufacturer that lies about, I don't know, tent dimensions or what. They won't sell another tent in their life, you know. Like, so screw all the technical details. Tell me about how do you feel when you use that. You know, if you're genuinely happy, like, hopefully you are not getting paid to make that review, so I'm not getting bullshitted. Like, so yeah. And yes, Zempire does not endorse it. Zempire does not know of our existence. Okay, like, we do not exist on their map. Like, so
Definitely.
and we won't exist on their map. Yeah.
Maybe if we find something interesting new, even with a little bit of this tent again, or just a continuous journey, if somebody is interested of our camping experiences while we're
Yeah.
learning and doing, and everything's new. So yeah, let's hope we see each other again.
Bye bye.
Bye.